Are you ready for another fireside chat? Because this one is also going to be a difficult topic. So, as you all know, I've been an attorney for 31 years in the field of criminal prosecution, and I now have to give a qualifier because that's not necessarily thought of as a good thing anymore. I was an ethical, law-abiding, constitution-abiding prosecutor, and I was a hard ass back in the day. I still kind of am. But I also have a spiritual business. So for years in the spiritual world, we've been talking about the unveiling and the disclosures that were coming. They're here. We're at the tip of the iceberg. And a lot of people didn't know what that would look like. And sadly, I knew what it would look like because of my legal career. Because I saw how powerful men treated women and how powerful rich men treated other people who didn't have the financial means that they did. I saw this play out. I saw it play out in the courtroom. If you hired a really good attorney, you got a lighter sentence. If you had a public defender, sucks to be you. You're going to prison. It was horrible to watch. I've literally seen this play out. And so everything that is happening, I'm seeing a lot of people, and I'm hearing from a lot of my students that they're just so highly disappointed in the men that are being disclosed. Here's the thing, you're only disappointed if you put somebody on a pedestal. Because when you put somebody on a pedestal, you're literally saying, I'm here, you're here. I look up to you. I look up to you. You've created a hierarchy. They didn't create it. You created it. You allowed them to create that. Okay? And you can dismantle it. And that's what's happening right now. So what's interesting that I see playing out, and I don't know if this is happening in other countries because I don't necessarily I travel to a lot of countries, but I don't necessarily know their culture. But the U.S. is full of cult-like behavior. I mean, I see it plain as day. And that cult-like behavior is playing out and putting people on pedestals. And one area that is cult-like is powerful white men on a pedestal. And that is being dismantled. That pedestal, bam, the four legs of that chair just collapsed. And I learned that very early on as an adult. I saw their unhealed programming playing out in how they treated women, in how they treated children, in how they treated people who were not as financially abundant as them. I fought back. I was sassy as an attorney. Oh, hell, I'm still sassy. My nickname was Pitbull in nylons, okay? And yes, back in the day, we had to wear nylons in the courtroom. I even saw it yesterday, flying back from Tucson with a man, emotionally unstable, clearly has mommy issues, and he was berating a couple of older women, and I stepped in, and I spoke out about his behavior by simply saying this: would your mom be proud of you right now? It silenced him, and he uttered a fake apology. And I just looked at him and I said, you don't get to behave badly and follow up with an apology. And that gets me to all the apologies that I'm seeing from the powerful men that are being unveiled and unmasked and disclosed. You do not get to apologize and all is well. No, you shouldn't have done what you did. You shouldn't have been hanging around who you were hanging around. You should have been a good person. But your power went to your head and to other body parts. So All these men who are apologizing, I'm not buying it. I'm not interested because I never put you on a pedestal. I'm not actually disappointed because I look at it and it's like, of course they did. Of course they're getting unmasked right now. But I know for a lot of people, you didn't have the experience I had early on in my career. I decentered and deplatformed men very early on in my adult life. Very, very few men have done the inner work because they're like, oh, that's so woke. That's a girl thing. No, you're messed up and you have mommy issues. Not my problem. Not my problem. Because men who are truly strong and healed in who they are, they can be in the presence of a strong, healed woman. And that's how I know. Because all I have to do is like what I did at the airport yesterday. Just simply, calmly, non-emotionally, just walk up to them and say, would your mom be proud of you right now? I'm not telling them the answer. I'm making them sit with the answer inside of them. That's what it's like being in the presence of a strong, empowered woman. The men collapse. And that's what's happening right now. The men are collapsing. But I know it's really difficult for a lot of people, and you're going to be highly disappointed because it's not done. Because we have actors, musicians, politicians, educators, influencers. I hate that name. Creators. But here's the thing. We're all being given a lesson to stop self-imposing a hierarchy. Stop putting people above you. Everybody's the same. Now, some people are going to have more education and information about a certain topic. Like, I am highly educated in the law, criminal prosecution, crystals, essential oils. Do not put me above you. You can certainly listen to me, but then I always tell my students, go out and research what I tell you. Don't just accept it blindly, and that's what happens when we're in a hierarchy. You just blindly accept it. Stop blindly listening to the news. Go out and research it. Stop blindly listening to politicians and leaders. Go out and research it. That's the lesson we're being given because all of these people who have been, what's the word I want to say? Influencing us with their propaganda. The fall from grace is just starting. And if you find yourself being disappointed, you need to go within and ask yourself, why are you disappointed? Like, I look at the attorneys and the judges that are in these files. I'm not disappointed. It's actually proven my point that I was saying 30 years ago. It's like, I told you so. So you need to ask yourself why you're disappointed. And chances are you put somebody on a pedestal and they did not deserve to be elevated above you. Okay? It's hard stuff. We're just at the beginning. Okay? We're just at the beginning. But this is where things are equaling out because we are now in class warfare. We're even in gender warfare. It needs to happen because there's just been, since the beginning of recorded time, women and people of color have been suppressed. And it's not going to happen anymore. A lot of this stuff wouldn't happen if women were in power. They like to say we're more emotional. No, we're more calculating and we're smart about it. Just saying.